This past weekend, I survived the Disney Wine and Dine challenge, which is running a 10K followed by a half marathon. I thought since I've been training for 48 miles, this was gonna be easy. I even made a costume for the 10K, which I've never done before, so I was pretty excited about this race. It's gonna give me an opportunity to test all the gear and everything that I've been working on for the past 6 months in a real world scenario. Before we get to the challenge though, I wanna go through why I signed up for the Wine and Dine challenge. Last year I signed up for the Disney Marathon and I got taken off the course at mile 22. I was 4 miles from finishing, but I physically could not go any further. My feet were covered in blisters. I was just done. This is the first time I had ever failed at a race, and as I was being bussed to the end, the frustration of being so close started to set in. I was determined to put in the work and to come back and do the marathon and succeed the following year. So much so that I signed up for the Ultimate Race Challenge, which was the Dopey Challenge. That is running 48.6 miles across 4 days. I'm not just gonna do the marathon. I was gonna train and I'm gonna do it all. I knew to accomplish this, it was a 28-week training plan, 7 months, as well as losing 30 to 35 pounds. This is what I needed to do in order to finish the race in January. This is why I signed up for the 10K and half marathon and did the Wine and Dine challenge. I've been training this long, it gets really boring running in circles and staying in my neighborhood. I needed a live race to remind me why I signed up for the marathon to start with. Can you relate? Though I signed up to the Wine and Dine challenge, I had to make sure that I still kept up with all the training runs for the week, not just the 10K and half marathon on the weekend. On top of that, I have 2 45-minute runs. On Tuesday, I made the executive decision that I'm not gonna run. I had run 35 miles the week before. I was still pretty sore. I did take a walk just to get the lactic acid up on my legs, but I didn't do my training run. Thursday run complete. Under a 12-minute mile. It's still dark out though, as you can see by the street lights. I had to wake up early though to do the run so I can get my Wine and Dine tickets. 7:30 they're using online reservation, so I want to make sure I get there early. It's way too many races. I went and couldn't get the Challenger magnets or shirts or something. I didn't run Tuesday just because I needed a day off. I think that was a good choice. I did walk. I was still sore, but I didn't count it. So it was a good run. It's back to hot and humid again. It's supposed to cool off again soon though. Feeling pretty good. Intermittent fasting is doing well. So I'm gonna get my Wine and Dine tickets. I got the 10K half marathon this weekend and the after party. It's gonna be a busy weekend. And I got a costume for my 10K, which I'm excited about. So let's go shower 30 minutes before I can get my ticket, and then we'll get to the expo today. Friday night, I set out my costume to get ready for the Wine and Dine 10K. I had to make sure everything was out though, because I had to make sure I was at the parking lot of the race by 3:30 in the morning. I was gonna be Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers. It's the Wine and Dine, so it's a food and drink running themed event. And Bob Belcher makes cheeseburgers. I figured it was a perfect fit. I felt more prepared for this race than I have ever felt for a race in my life. I'm routinely running 4 to 6 miles, so I thought a 10K, I'm prepared. This is the most prepared in my life I'm ever gonna be. 11:03 a.m., Wine and Dine. I'm excited. I'm afraid my mascara is gonna run. I decided instead of wear a fake mustache, I would just use waterproof mascara. I'm a little scared of how that's gonna happen though when I start sweating. I've never run in pants before, but I'm wearing like dress pants. I fell asleep around 8:30, woke up around 2. Slept pretty well. I can already hear the music, the energy is great. Drink my cups of coffee, my Cliff Bar, gotta do 6 miles. Gain an extra hour tonight, so that's another good thing. This race I think is gonna be amazing, both of them. It's awesome to do a run in person instead of running in circles again this weekend, so I'm super excited. All right, let's go. 10K is done, and the sun hasn't even come up yet. It's just now starting to come up back there, you see it? Got my nice medal here. Feels really good. It was a whole lot of fun. There was a lot of characters, a lot of things along the way, which is really awesome because it just really distracted me to the point where the 6 miles seemed like nothing. I'm not even really sore, though I've been training with some really long runs. I'm excited my mascara didn't run, my mustache is still dark, and I learned I will never run in pants again. It is really hot. It's like 92% humidity. Wearing pants like this made the run feel really hot. As you can see, I'm a little sweaty. Go home and shower, eat something, and tomorrow come back for a half marathon, which I'm feeling really good about. It was really exciting to get a break from running in circles all the time. The energy and everything was just so amazing. So another 2 a.m. day. I gained an hour. I'll at least pretend that I'm getting an extra hour of sleep. On to the half marathon. I made it through one race, which was 6 miles. It has become kind of routine for my runs, but it's still a distance and it's still a success. So I have to give myself a pat on the back for that one. But now I had to turn my focus to the half marathon. I've run 20, 30 half marathons in my lifetime, but never have I put this much training into running, ever. I was really interested to see how the gear played out. I check out the weather because for the half marathon, I have to be at the start line again by 3:30 in the morning. So I have to get up at 2 a.m. and make sure that my camelback and my goo and I have everything ready. All the stuff I've been planning for, all the routines I've been working on in these early morning runs, this is my shot. They're calling for it to be in the mid-70s, which you think would be great, but it's 96% humidity with chances of rain on and off in the morning. This is gonna be tough. This is not gonna be an easy race. Here we go, Wine and Dine half marathon. The only thing I didn't think about was the fact that now I'm gonna run for an hour longer in the sun, but it was nice to get an extra hour sleep. I'm actually pretty well rested. I fell asleep like 8:30 last night. I didn't wear a costume today, which should make it much easier. Today would be the test to see if all my planning works out because this is a real race. The real 2 mile walk to the start line, the sitting there for an hour, while you're waiting to start. All that stuff that normally happens at these Disney races. Gonna be tested now. The energy is amazing, and I haven't even got out of the car yet. I've got my Camelback, my goo. I still wear my Camelback for these races just because I don't know what kind of Powerade they're gonna have. And since I train this way, I plan to keep it this way. A little concerned to do that on a marathon weekend, only because that's a 3 liter, which is really heavy. It's 3:20 in the morning, so early, so early. It's only 3:20, the race doesn't start for an hour and a half, but I'm gonna go do my 20-minute walk to the start line, go sit, and then about 30 minutes before, everyone will magically stand up for us to stand for 30 minutes or more waiting to actually run. Yeah, same routine, but I'm gonna try my 4-minute per mile run. If towards the end I'm still feeling really good, I may pick it up a little bit to see if I can reduce my time. Let's see. I survived the half marathon. I made it through the Wine and Dine challenge. Today's race was awesome, even though it started raining at the beginning. It's a lot hotter than expected. The humidity is like 93% most of the morning. It was hot. My pace was not great, but I stopped for photos and things along the way. I feel the best after a half marathon at any race than I ever have. I'm not really that sore, at least as of now. We'll see how I feel later today. It was awesome. It was a great race. There was a lot of entertainment along the way, a lot of characters. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people. I learned a really good lesson. I'm not gonna be able to do my runs here like I do on my training because there's a lot of narrow places. So there's sometimes where it's just harder to run and it's easier to walk just because of the crowd. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to change it up. I'm still a little nervous if I can do 26 miles at this point. I got 23 miles in a couple weeks, which will be my real test to see if I can make it through that. Because if I can push through that, I can push through 26 in a month. It's getting really close. I'm hoping it's cooler in January because it was 93% humidity all morning and it's probably 80 degrees already right now. I'll put my official time up. I don't know what it is. I haven't looked at it yet. All I've done this morning is walk to the race, and come back. My watch says that I'm at 17 miles. So there's that much extra walking on top of the half marathon when you do these half marathons and full marathons. But I'm gonna go Epsom salt, ice my feet so I can be running on Tuesday and doing next week's runs. And then we'll do 23 miles after that one. Great time, highly recommend it. It was exciting to do 2 races in person and kind of get out of that running around your neighborhood mentality. Time to go recoup, spend some time with the family. My compression blister-free socks worked amazing. That is always the biggest concern when you're dealing with high humidity and rain, is your feet swelling, your feet getting wet. My shoes were so soaked, it sounded like I had walked through a lake in the middle of the race. But I had no blisters at all. I came home and soaked in Epsom salt, put some ice on my feet, and I actually felt the best I have ever felt after a half marathon in my life. It's amazing what happens when the work gets put in. There were over 12,000 people at the race, and over $70,000 was raised for a local food bank. They were also asking for the post-race snack boxes if people wanted to donate them, which thousands of those got donated to the food bank as well. It is amazing to see the community that comes together to donate to these charities for these races. It's really heartwarming to think of the amount of people helped at these events. I felt great after the race. There was an amazing amount of food donated thanks to all the runners. Unfortunately though, I woke up with the flu. So I won't be running for 7 to 10 days now, which is gonna force me to make some major adjustments for my 48-mile run for January.